Hello everyone, I'm Violent with GRIZZ Zombies. We're going to be talking today about Resident Evil 7. Mostly on my channel I do cover Call of Duty Zombies between mod tools, Infinite Warfare Zombies, and Black Ops 3 Zombies, but today we're going to be talking about a different title, but it's zombies related. So that's what you're going to get on this channel, and I'm going to give you the best in-depth tutorial possible for getting this dirty coin. And yeah, I do have a trick for you to pass that 5th riddle, so we're going to talk about that. The first thing you're going to want to do is activate this lever that's right inside the spawn. So when you spawn in, just turn around to your right by that fireplace. It will unhitch the secret door, or unhinch it, and you'll grab the fuse. Because when you notice the fuse box is missing a fuse at the beginning, we're going to need to pick up that fuse and set that right in there. Now for most of this video we're going to be fast forwarding through the long parts where we have to run across the building, but I'm going to show you the hard footage right at the beginning so that way you can get a feel of the landscape. So we'll head upstairs, and there's a button immediately that's glowing green. We're going to need to push that button. What's that's going to do is lower the attic roof, or a staircase, an attic staircase, and we'll be able to climb up that then and head into the attic, which is very important. So we'll come to the first door on the right, and you'll see a set of keys. We'll pick up those keys, and that's the basement keys. We'll need those for later on. Notice this door is pure white. There's nothing on it. That's the door where we're going to end up unlocking. And so on the TVs that are right next to this door is where we'll pick up a hand, and that's the 4-hand that we'll need. And then in the drawer right to the staircase on the right is a finger. So pick up both of those. We'll need to craft those together a little bit later on. We'll head to this door now that's opened after the latest patch, and in here it reveals the basement door. So to the left, right, we'll unlock the basement door with the key, and we'll head downstairs, and this is where it gets a little tricky. This is where you may need to restart a few times if you don't follow this correctly. So pick up the lockpick. It's right there on the left when you come down here, but once you enter this door, first thing you're going to do is immediately go and pick up that wheel, and then pick up the key next to this door, and immediately sprint forward, hit the door once, and then you're going to backtrack to the body that's hanging here. Hit that so you can hit that beast out of the way, and that'll give you enough time to get through this door. And I found that this is the only way that works. There might be another way to do it, but as far as I know, for like the 9 times that I did it, this is the only way. Okay, so again, we pick up the valve, we head straight for the key, we pick up the key, immediately to our right, you'll see that it's where he spawns. So you need to get through this door, hit the first door so that way when it's blocked, you got enough time to come back, double back, hit the body so it hits the monster, and you can go through. I think that's a zombie. There is an infected ending now that's been added with the latest patch, and if you get hit by him, you get that infected ending, because there's no way to finish this Easter egg without you dying. So you're going to need to go into the bathroom now, and it's really nasty in here. We're going to apply that valve to this area with a hole in it, and so we set it in and turn it, and what that does, it turns off the water pressure, or I think it might turn on the water pressure, so that way the toilet can flush, because you need water up there in the upper part, or the upper decker of the toilet. So we pick up the handgun that it reveals. It does reveal a handgun, and then we're going to need bullets. You'll notice there are bullet locations all over this place. I'm just going to show you a few because you don't even need bullets really. So a few that you'll notice right in this room is in the cabinet there, and also in the drawer that's right below the cabinet. So now we're going to need an item, and that lockpick that we got from downstairs, we're going to apply now to this drawer that's in the kitchen. The drawer on the left here. So when we apply the pick, we can then unlock this drawer, and inside there will be an axe, and that axe we'll need to use for a riddle later on. But this is where the riddles begin, 1 of 5 riddles, and we'll start with the very first one where we'll go upstairs. And I'll note when you first go upstairs to the left, you can break this box open, and inside there will be more handgun ammo. Now you don't need this handgun, okay? So getting that is, I think, used primarily for the beast downstairs, but we already passed that part to get the valve, so we don't need to do that. We're going to craft the hand now, so what you do is you craft the forearm piece, or the forehand, with the finger. It's really easy to do. And once you get that done, we can now point at things and activate audio cues for the riddles. Now in this drawer that's right before the bathroom, we will pick up a notebook. And that notebook's going to reveal our riddles. So we go back upstairs to start the riddles, and right next to the white door, you'll notice there's writing on the wall. You'll activate that writing and you'll see it. 5 guests were murdered, but where is unknown. Nothing to point for their final gravestones. So when you look back onto the notebook, there'll be another message, and that's the message that's important. That's the message we're collecting with these riddles, and that's going to give us further indication of where to point the finger. Grace will not wake when the clock makes its cinema chima. She covers her heavy and whatever. Anyway, we got the clock out of it, and that's all we needed to know. So when we go back downstairs, you'll notice there's a clock up to the right there, and what you have to point at is where this box fell in between the shelves. So we're going to take out our pointer finger, basically just look at the item, and while we're looking at the item, you can point the finger. And so we kind of point it in this area until you get a little wavelength thing that happens, and pulsating, and that's what we're looking for, because that means you're finished with the first riddle, and we can basically move on to the next riddle. So we're going to move on and grab the bolt cutters, and you've probably seen this if you've done your first playthrough, but we open this up so we can get the videotape. We will need that videotape for the last riddle, and so it's very important. We'll just get that done right now so it's out of the way, and we'll move on, okay? So we're going to head back upstairs now, and when we do, we're going to go around the corner where this light is, and just stare at it. And when you stare at it, you'll get that audio cue. It's very important. That means we got it, so we can look back at our journal or our notebook, and it will have our second message for us. So hearing the sound means that you got the writing in the notebook. So Phil's tucked in tight in his cold, stiff bed while having sweet dreams of not being dead. This riddle, we gotta look for Phil, and he's in a bed, right? So he's still and dead in a bed. We're gonna go downstairs, way downstairs now, because there were those bodies that were hanging on the wall, and one in particular sitting on a cot we can point the finger at, and we will finally get our wavelength pulse that we need, and that will indicate that we are done with this step. So we got the second riddle done, and we can move on from that. So we're gonna head back upstairs now and move on to the picture frame, because there's a picture that's right up the staircase, and you're going to swing at it, and then you will hear it. Once you hear the laugh, then we'll have another writing in our notebook, so we can go ahead and take a look at that notebook, and inside that notebook it reads, Stanley was told to go hide, and they seek, but they wouldn't let him out no matter how much he shrieked. So our boy Stanley got locked in a closet. What closet is that? There's one that's right underneath this staircase, and when you point the finger right at the door that's there, this is the one he got locked into. So some people were really brutal. They stapled these wooden planks right on the door shut. Anyway, point the finger at it, and we will help Stanley out and get this riddle done. Solved. Moving on. So just like before, guys, we now got to do something to trigger a laugh. And the best way I found is go up to this mirror, and you got to do a 180. So you hit back, and you also hit circle, I believe, and it twists you around, and that's how you get the audio cues, by twisting around looking at the mirror. That gives us our fourth riddle, and it reads, Marilyn was so proud of her white and blue necklace, it made her feel tall and left her quite breathless. So we're looking for a white and blue necklace, and this is actually a pretty long necklace. It actually looks more like cables. When we go upstairs towards the attic, there's a set of blue and white cables that goes across the skyboard here, or the ceiling. So you have to point your finger more towards where that pillar is coming across, or that plank's coming across over the top, so kind of in there, in that gap, is what you're looking for, and that will give you the pulse length. Now we need a laugh, right? So what are we gonna do to make this happen? Alright, so we got the pulsating effect. Now this can take you a few tries. A lot of people say this part's bugged, but rest assured there is a method in which you can pull this off, and it may take a few times soon. We just revealed the cap of that pot that's in the kitchen, and that's very important because we're basically in the real life mode. Now what we're going to do is insert the videotape so we can go into the videotape mode, and when we do, we're going to head into the kitchen and reveal that pot as well. That pot will still be there, except this time you won't take the cap off, you'll pull it off and then put it back on, and it will stay on. So you'll go through this motion, then you'll come back to the basement area where we picked up that key for the attic, and there's a doll on the floor. That doll right there is one that's going to give us an audio cue, and all you do is stare at it and move around, and eventually it'll trigger. But if it doesn't, redo this step. Set the tape back in. The cap will be off in real life already on the pot, but what I did is I went through, every time that I went through, I revealed the cap on this pot, and that's important because this is part of the last step after you get the laugh. So it's kind of our indicator that this is what we got to do. And this took me 2 different times, but the second time that I tried this, I read that note that's next to the TV. I don't know if that's part of this step, but keep that in mind. and then you're going to hear the audio cue that's right next to the stall. And it took me a few times, okay, because I was wiggling back and forth, but when I finally got it, it's pumped. That means we're almost done with this Easter egg. So what we got to do now is to head back upstairs, and you remember where that pot is at, right? So we're going to head back right to it, take out the finger pointer, and literally point right at the pot of that nasty shit. And we will get our pulse, and that's what we're looking for, because boom, now we're ready to go. So we're about to learn what happened to Timmy. Timmy had a very fateful end. We're going to take a look at our notebook because we got a last riddle that we're going to take a look at and read, and it's all about Timmy. So Timmy did not mind the harsh light of 4 suns. Eyes require heads, and he did not have one. So Timmy had a tragic ending, and that's the ending to Timmy's story. Boom, chicka bang. We're done with this part. And now what we can do is go back upstairs and take a look at the white door, because the white door is no longer white. It actually has red markers on it, and there's blood handprints on it, and that means that each time that we did a riddle, there was a new set of handprints on it. And so that was our indicators that knowing that we were doing it right. So now when we go through the door, we can collect our dirty coin. That's right, we're to the ending, fellas. This is about to wind down, and there's a nice little message here for us from the Resident Evil crew and all the devs left that you are the best ever. So thank you guys for watching, and that's about it for the dirty coin. If you guys got any questions for me, I did go through all the motions here to make sure this was possible. This is all legit gameplay, so I hope you guys did enjoy, and be sure to subscribe if you like zombies content, man. I cover a lot of different zombies games, and I'm just starting to get into Resident Evil, so if you got anything for me that you'd like to let me know. As far as I can tell, this seems like quite a big change for Resident Evil. It's not like the other games. We do have this dirty coin, and this from the demo is going to transfer over to the full game. So I'm not sure what kind of reward we're going to get, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a good reward if you're a loyal player. So that's what the dirty coin looks like. I hope this was clear. We're going to go through the attic so we can finish off the rest of this game and get the true ending. I'll leave you guys with that gameplay. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Viollent out.